Such a man might arrange to have himself bound and gagged and locked in the bedroom wardrobe while 10 feet away his better half went at it. Had Beard at last located within himself a capacity for sexual masochism? No woman had ever looked or sounded so desirable as the wife he suddenly could not have. Conspicuously, he went to Lisbon to look up an old friend, but it was a joyless 3 nights. He had to have his wife back, and dared not drive her away with shouting or threats or brilliant moments of unreason. Nor was it in his nature to plead. He was frozen. He was abject. He could think of nothing else. The first time she left him a note, "Staying over at ours tonight, XXP. Did he go round to the mock Tudor ex-council semi with the shrouded speedboat on the hard standing and a hot tub in the pint-sized backyard to mash the man's brains with his own monkey wrench? No. He watched television for 5 hours in his overcoat, drank 2 bottles of wine, and tried not to think. And failed. But thinking was all he had. When his other wives had found out about his affairs, they raged, coldly or tearfully. They insisted on long sessions into the early hours to deliver their thoughts on broken trust, and eventually their demands for a separation, and all that followed. But when Patrice happened across some emails from Suzanne Rubin, a mathematician at the Humboldt University in Berlin, she became unnaturally elated. That same afternoon, she moved her clothes into the guest bedroom. It was a shock when he slid the wardrobe doors open to confirm the fact. Those rows of silk and cotton dresses, he realized now, had been a luxury and a comfort, versions of herself lining up to please him. No longer. Even the hangers were gone. She smiled through dinner that night as she explained that she too intended to be free, and within the week she had started her affair. What was a man to do? He apologized one breakfast, told her his lapse meant nothing, made grand promises he sincerely believed he might keep. This was the closest he came to pleading. She said she did not mind what he did. This was what she was doing, and this was when she revealed the identity of her lover, the builder with the sinister name of Rodney Tarpin, 7 inches taller and 20 years younger than the cuckold, whose sole reading, according to his boast, back when he was humbly grouting and beveling for the Beards, was the sports section of a tabloid newspaper. An early sign of Beard's distress was dysmorphia, or perhaps it was dysmorphia he was suddenly cured of. At last, he knew himself for what he was. Catching sight of a conical pink mess in the misted full-length mirror as he came out of the shower, he wiped down the glass, stood full on, and took a disbelieving look. What engines of self-persuasion had let him think for so many years that looking like this was seductive? That foolish thatch of earlobe-level hair that buttressed his baldness, the new curtain swag of fat that hung below his armpits, the innocent stupidity of swelling in gut and rear. Once he had been able to improve on his mirror self by pinning back his shoulders, standing erect, tightening his abs. Now, human blubber draped his efforts. How could he possibly keep hold of a young woman as beautiful as she was? Had he honestly thought that status was enough, that his Nobel Prize would keep her in his bed? Naked, he was a disgrace, an idiot, a weakling. Even 8 consecutive press-ups were beyond him, whereas Tarpin could run up the stairs to the Beard's master bedroom holding under one arm a 50-kilo cement sack. 50 kilos. That was roughly Patrice's weight. She kept him at a distance with lethal cheerfulness. These were additional insults, her sing-song hellos, the matinal recital of domestic detail, and her evening whereabouts. And none of it would have mattered if he had been able to despise her a little and plan to be shot of her.